Benvenuti ragazzi, questa è la vostra prof e adesso lavoriamo su una lista base di verbi in ere e in ire. So we're going to work on a basic list, very general list of ere and ire verbs. Included in this list are some irregular verbs, and I will, however, make a tutorial on the irregular ones, but I will mention them as we go. So, ere verbs. So I started with avere, which is irregular, but you have to start with avere and essere, as you know. Those are the pillars of our language. And just remind you that they're in this category, although they are irregular. So ho, hai, ha, abbiamo, avete, hanno, to have, and to be. Essere. Sono, sei, è, siamo, siete, sono. Now, obviously, this was brilliant. You have a be for the verb to be. This PowerPoint was made by me and some of my students. Mettere, to put. The past participle of mettere is messo. Dipingere, to paint. Dipingere. Vedere, to see, which is different than to watch, which is guardare, an are verb. Cool. And the past participle is visto, irregular. Volere, to want. I want to remember this one as part of a trilogy. Volere, potere, and dovere. These three verbs have in common that they all are followed by an infinitive. No preposition, nothing, just the infinitive. So in English it's the same actually, but you make an infinitive using the preposition to. Well, we don't. So I want to eat, for example. In Italiano è voglio mangiare. Okay. So volere is the one that will do all the work, will conjugate either at the future, the present, the past, whatever you need, plus the infinitive. So volere, you want. Volere, want. Potere, you have the power, which means to be able to. Conjugation, we go back and forth. There will be a separate flip chart for this. Voglio, vuoi, vuole, vogliamo, volete, vogliono, the present tense. Potere, posso, puoi, può, possiamo, potete, possono. To have the power, to be able to, potere. And dovere, you have a duty, which is you have to. Devo, devi, deve, dobbiamo, dovete, devono. So these three always are followed by an infinitive. Spendere, to spend. Vendere, to sell, like a vendor, vending machine, vendere. Vedere, to see, as opposed to guardare. This one's double. Bere, to drink. Bevo, bevi, beve, beviamo, bevete, bevono. Cadere, to fall. It's a house verb, which means that the passato prossimo, it takes the verb essere. Scendere, same thing, takes essere, and the past participle is sceso. Venire, to come. Vengo, vieni, viene, veniamo, venite, vengono. Piacere, to like. Nobody likes this verb because it's very complicated, so we'll talk about piacere in a different tutorial. But basically, it goes with what follows. So, mi piace studiare, mi piace la pasta, mi piacciono gli spaghetti, because it's to my liking. So, to me, like spaghetti. So, the actual subject is the spaghetti, which are plural. So, mi piacciono gli spaghetti. And piacere is a house verb. Leggere, to read. Scrivere, to write. Ricevere, to receive. So just watch that first I and then next E. You tend to switch those because it's similar to English, but it's really not identical. Sapere, to know. Conoscere, to know. So there's always a difference between these two, so I will take a moment to talk about this. Sapere, it's usually you know something, or you know how to do something. and it's conjugated so, sai, sa, sappiamo, sapete, sanno. At the past tense, it means to find out a piece of information. Ho saputo che blah, blah, blah. Like that. I found out. Okay? So, at the present tense, it's you know something or you know how to do something. Quindi io so che la mamma è buona o io so leggere. Well, this one, to know, it's mostly about people. So, io conosco Maria. I know Maria. She's my friend. I know her. In the past tense, however, it means to meet. So if I say, ieri ho conosciuto Maria, yesterday I met Maria. So it's the moment when you get to know someone in the past. Just usually refers to people, although there are some exceptions. Like do you know that book? Do you know that city? In the sense that, are you acquainted with them? Do you know them? Perdere, to lose, which is different from prendere, which is to take, so make sure. The past participle is perso. Vivere, to live. Past tense, vissuto. Past participle, vissuto. Spendere, to spend. Nascere, to be born. Past participle, nato. It's a house verb. Go back 1 second. Spendere, past participle, speso. We'll make a tutorial on the past tenses. Rimanere, to remain. Rimango, rimani, rimane, rimaniamo, rimanete, rimangono. This one adds the G at first person singular and third person plural. Piovere, to rain. So if you say it rains, you just say rains. Piove. You might remember Giovannotti's song. Piove, guarda, senti come piove. Prendere, to take. Past participle, preso. Correre, to run. Past participle, corso. Battere, to beat. But you can also beat that way. Or you could beat someone with a stick. I don't want you to be doing that, but that's what it means. And also it means to beat someone more, not physically, but like at a game. Vincere, to win. Vinto is the past participle. Now a list of ereverbs. There are many, many more, obviously, but these are the basic ones. Aprire, past participle, aperto, to open. Partire, to depart. Now, there are 4 verbs that mean to leave. Partire is one of them, but the best translation is actually to depart. So I'm thinking passports, tickets, a plan of some kind, suitcases. So it's to depart. Is that kind of leaving. The other ones are uscire, so I leave the house in the sense that I exit the house. And then we have andare via, which literally means to go away, and lasciare, which is more to leave behind. So they're all different, but in English, if you use the same one, you'll be fine. In Italian, you need to pick the right one. Dire, to say, past participle detto, and this one's pretty much irregular everywhere. Dico, dici, dice, diciamo, dite, dicono, to say, which is different than to tell. To tell is raccontare, okay? To talk is parlare. Dire is to say. Past participle detto. I guess you could say he told me, blah, blah, so mi ha detto. You could say that. To tell a story is the raccontare. The best translation for dire is to say. Salire, to go up, a house verb. Sentire, to hear, also to feel. Morire, past participle morto. It is a house verb. Muoio, muori, muore. Moriamo, morite, muoiono. Dormire, to sleep. When a plant is dormant during the winter. Dormire. So you see, it's easy to remember. Uscire, to exit. So that's to leave, to exit. And so if you exit any place, for example, school, io esco da scuola. If you exit a house, io esco di casa. The only exception is the casa. It's irregular. Esco, esci, esce, usciamo, uscite, escono. Chiudere, to close. Capire, to understand. This is an isk verb. Now, isk verbs, and I have this little explanation in the general ire little video that I made. But what you do is, it's an ire verb. Between the root and the ending, you put isk. For the first three at the singular and the last one at the plural. So capisco, capisci, capisce, capiamo, capite, capiscono. Pulire, another isk verb. To clean, to build. Costruire. In English, there's the word construction, and you always like to put that N, but it doesn't exist. Costruire, to build, no ends. Costruisco, costruisci, costruisce, costruiamo, costruite, costruiscono. Finire, to finish. This is an isk verb too. Preferire, to prefer. This is an isk verb. Spedire does not mean to spend, but it means to send. Spedisco, spedisci, spedisce, spediamo, spedite, spediscono. And that's it for our list of ere and ire verbs.